What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fye and Eric Sheetsaber. We're going to be talking through tonight's 5-game MLB main slate. First, I didn't get a chance to tell you in person, so congratulations, Sheets, with the big takedown yesterday on the showdown slate for golf. Nice job, man. And how else have things been going? What's going on?
Yeah. So, so got very fortunate. Excuse me. Whenever you win a showdown slate, you get fortunate. So let's just preface it by that. But I played one entry into that 555, and I essentially just played, and I played the MME stuff too. But I did a different sim for the 555. I usually just put the top performer of the multi whatever into the big one. But this one I actually did a separate sim with the different settings, and I don't know whether it helped or not or whatever. But it was like the only one of the very few lineups in the top 20 even that didn't have Davis Thompson. The bad news is, well, the bad news is I really had to get very fortunate that he, was so far ahead that he didn't need to get any birdies the last 3 holes. So he just basically played the way he was supposed to. You know what I mean? Like just take his pars or whatever. Because in like the real world, I mean, anybody can get a birdie on that 17th hole if they were if they needed it, So he completely played for par, and I didn't exactly know whether I was going to win or not. I was kind of watching it as I was driving or whatever, but then I saw that that 2 of my guys just finished completely pure, like literally tied for second, which is the best that you can do, and they both birdied 18, which was like very, very not the easiest one to do it. And I didn't even realize that I needed like every bit of those last 3 pars by Thompson. Any one of those birdies, I lose. And so that was that was obviously a lot of fun. And it was interesting because in baseball yesterday, I don't think I've done this yet, but I'm just to keep it real. Mm-hmm. So I played the 888 in baseball yesterday. Mm-hmm. Did I play the 250? I played the 250, and I played 50 entries in the MME and cashed for $0.
Oh my God!
Not only 0, but I think I was either last or like 4th to last in both the big buy-ins. So it's not all strawberries and cream. But when you play GPPs, those are the types of results that you're going to have to accept. If you want to trade them in for the occasional, fortunate bink, so to speak. But today's slate,
I was accidentally rooting against you until I saw how high your lineup was, because I was just sweating not my 555, I was sweating the $5, where I was like in second, third place a lot of the day. And I was right there. I just needed I needed it to be Carson Young and Thor Bjornsson alone in second. And then I needed a little bit more out of Mitchell. You know what I mean?
Right. So you didn't need Clanton to come there and sneak into the second.
Took it away from me. I had plenty of them, just not in that lineup.
Yeah. When I finally got a look at the lobby, I saw that I was in like 14th or something, and Bobby was in like 11th or 9th or something. But I had like a lot more holes, and yesterday was in that tournament. That's all it was all about having holes left. You know what I mean? Like there's just birdies all over the freaking place. And once I passed Bobby, I'm like, okay, now I really have to win, because if I'm going to beat Bobby, I better take the whole freaking thing down. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy about it.
That's right. That's right.
So I was really fortunate. So for today's baseball, for those of you who didn't hear, like Sale is out. And this could be one of the ugliest slates I've seen.
It's pretty ugly
for the whole season. I mean, like the pitching that I'm getting to is just about the worst there is.
And I'm gonna stress tonight more than ever. And look, I could very well go a different way. I would put less emphasis on stacking on this slate than on any slate I've seen so far. Basically,
you could be right.
and I think that you're seeing. Like I was talking about it last week, Sheets, where there's more pros and people who play max who are doing this all over the place, almost no stacks. And it's really interesting to see how it's changed a little bit. Yeah. But a lot of those make sense on certain slates, because part of their no stack thing is, okay, we want to get Judge and Ohtani in our lineups. And of course, they just kept hitting like 1 or 2 home runs every day each. So it looked like a genius thing. I'm sure there are plenty of times it won't look smart, but I think today that's going to be what I do. Is I'm going to use that as my biggest differentiator and just play the bats that I want. And pitching wise, it's tough.
Well, I will say this, by the way, to put another little wrinkle on it, is that if you do kind of demand stacks, sort of, you're gonna have a lot of money left on the table. I mean, I looked at a bill that I had where I just made sure to only play 5-man stacks to see what it looks like. I think on average I was leaving 1,600 on the table, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm probably going to do is, and boy, I hate doing this, but I think I want to set a minimum salary. And the reason why I hate doing it is because I like to really trust the fact that if SaberSim is going to, create a good bunch of lineups, that it's not going to really care, you know what I mean, whatever. But just seeing that SaberSim likes to stack more than, I don't say that it should, but it really, really likes to stack. You're going to get so many of these like lineups and here's the way I describe it. It happens more on FanDuel than anything else, but DraftKings happens too. Is what SaberSim will do when it's trying to maximize correlation is let's say that's like you have 4-man and then you have 3. You have a 4-man stack and you have a 3-man stack and you have 1 player left to be put in, right? And you have like 5,500 left, and you have a choice between, or let's say 6,700 left, for example. You have a choice between playing a one-off of Ohtani for 6,700 or like a $2,600 outfielder to make your 4-man stack a 5-man stack. Mm-hmm. SaberSim will almost always jam in that freaking $2,600 guy for purposes of correlation and leave the $1 million on the table that you would have gotten to Ohtani. And I don't think I can do it. You know what I mean? Like I think that's just going a little overboard, to say the least. So on a small slate like this, and people say, how do I use SaberSim or whatever? I have to be particularly careful to either do a minimum salary or almost force in, which I don't want to do either, but force in very few 5-man stacks. Like, for example, I certainly am not going to mind if I get to, non-5-man stacks organically, but I might even consider just forcing those in. Because I'll tell you, look, what pitcher do you like today?
Right. That's the issue. Well, so Abbott's my favorite with a guy with a 4.5 run total against him, basically projected. And he's my favorite. He was my favorite even when Sale was pitching, just as a guy to, at the time he was going to be lower owned than Sale, whatever. Now it doesn't matter because he's going to be the most popular. But I'm using the guys. The part of the issue I'm running into is some of my favorite things I like are cheap. Like I would take a shot with this Diaz a little bit against Atlanta. I would take a shot. The big one is that I'm shocked we haven't had people like, I guess it's because you don't feel like you need to spend up for anything, and what you do need to spend up for is on Cleveland. So using a 4K pitcher against them is doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I'm interested in this. I think that there is upside for this Montero at 4K, who pitched 6 innings his last time out. He's now projected is down from 87 to 81 projected pitches. That's no different basically than the other guys ahead of him. And as we all talked about all year long, like, yeah, it may not be a great matchup, but if you can get, there's no reason the guy at 4K couldn't end up being one of the 2 or 3 highest scoring pitchers on the slate. Like he could be optimal very easily, and he's going to be unowned because you don't need the money. I'm going to be taking that chance anyway a little bit and getting the bats that I really want. And that one, spending up for the expensive Atlantas and Cincinnatis and whatnot. But I like just to get different. And Gavin Williams, sure, I'll probably be near the field. John Gray, probably near the field, to be honest. I'm not doing the Paddock thing. I actually think there's a reasonable chance that he doesn't throw. Like Paddock's got the fewest pitches projected for him on the slate. So I'm just going to ignore it. It's a good matchup. I'm basically just not playing him, though, at the moment. I am not playing Feltner. I am much more interested in Cincinnati. But I do think he would qualify as another weird spend down. The one I can't figure out is what are people going to do with Elder? I actually think Elder is completely reasonable. And I am seeing very different projections on what his ownership would be. And SaberSim, for whatever reason, hasn't projected at only 11 fantasy points, and I don't really know why. So I guess that's what I'm saying is I'm basically near the chalk on the big guys, skipping Paddock, skipping Feltner, and then using those, whatever ownership I would have had on those guys on Montero, on Bryce Elder. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yeah, my first kind of go round, I was a little different. Now let me specify. Let me expand on what you said a little bit with respect to like Montero possibly being the, maybe end up being the lowest, the highest or one of the highest scoring guys on the whole slate, for example. This could be one of those slates where the highest scoring pitcher on the slate is like 12. It's like, so it's not even like you don't even need that good of a game to be the top pitcher on the slate. And it could be one of those wild slates where you get like a 2 and a 5 out of your pitchers. And, that's like the ultimate like sheets slate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where like 100 points maybe wins something.
Yep.
I mean, the pitching really stinks. And the thing is that and the stacks are not that great either. You know what I mean? Like, It's not like you have the Dodgers or whatever, but you do have, so I actually was doing the opposite. I was actually getting to the Feltner. And I was actually getting to the Rockies over Paddock when I first took a look at it. But then when I did that, I didn't really do the stuff with the stacks so you'll see what I do now because I'm just updating the projections and we'll see what
I think that's very viable. By the way, the Rockies. If you're not going to play the Abbott, like why wouldn't you take the? This is the kind of slate where getting that leverage does matter. And I think playing the Rockies is a really good idea, even though I personally am not getting to them. I'm not, whatever. I do have some one-offs from them, like some Doyle and some Diaz and stuff like that. But I like the idea of getting a little bit different by using the Rockies if you want to make a big leverage stand and you want to make a stack. If I was going to play a stack, I think I would probably lean, like if I was going to go full 5-man, I wouldn't do that with Minnesota. I wouldn't do that with Cleveland at this ownership. I wouldn't do that with Texas even. I would probably do it with Colorado, Cincinnati, or Arizona. Cincinnati is the weirdest one because it's hard to project them because they have no outfielders. They've got one outfielder on their whole thing. They've got 3 first basemen. So you can get unique in stacking a team like that. And by the way, I'm taking the lowest owned of the 3. I love Edwin Rios. I have very fond memories of him as a Dodger. He's 2K flat. And I'll just tell you that he's got incredible power. And in Cincinnati, like whatever his fly ball would be a home run, when it's 90 degrees in Cincinnati. So I love Diaz. I'm sorry, I love Rios to go deep today. So I'm using a ton of him at first base, whether I'm playing Cincinnati or not.
Did you like the Texas at all?
So it's just how much chalk are you comfortable with?
Okay, you think they're gonna be?
I think it's going to be in order: Minnesota, Cleveland, Texas, Cincinnati. But like Ellie will be higher owned than the other guys will. You know what I mean? Like it's just you're going to see one of Ellie or Jose Ramirez in most lineups. I think. I'd be surprised if you don't.
Ellie meaning who?
Ellie De La Cruz or
okay.
Who now, by the way, it's out today. He loves the Dodgers. He said LA is his city, and now he says he's learning Japanese so he can talk to Ohtani.
Oh, there you go.
Let's get Ellie in the house.
Yeah, that would be a nice pickup for sure.
Nice get. All you do is you take an offense with the last 5 MVPs over the last 4 years, and then you add the guy who at the one position you don't have a hitter at. Perfect.
And when is Ohtani going to be pitching again?
They're deciding what to do with it. He's starting to talk about some simulated games and things like that.
Might it be the season?
The plan was for it not to be initially. I think that the momentum of what he's doing has sort of driven LA crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, you go to a regular season game, it's more active than most playoff games that I've been to. It's wild. It's people screaming and it's got a whole different energy. So I think with that, they kind of like want to see if maybe it's possible. Looking now. Let's see.
Well, I'm not playing FanDuel today, so what I'm going to do is
I threw one lineup in on FanDuel. I used Abbott and I stacked. I believe more in the stacking format over there, but I have like a Cincinnati. Who do I have? Oh, I have Cincinnati, Atlanta, Chicago White Sox, like a 4-2-2.
So here, I'll show you guys. Let me. Oh, here's the thing I wanted. If Brandon's around to work on is is I want to add the Twitter Spaces to the restream.
Oh so,
yeah. I think I figured it out. But you know what I need? I needed the
Yeah, he's got no power because the hurricanes right now.
No, it's fine. But I'm gonna. I'll test it. You got to give me the I was going to say the Twitter credentials.
Oh yeah.
For TrueDFS, and then I'll test it next time. So where are you guys? I keep forgetting how to do this. I have to find restream here so then I could share my screen. Where am I? No. You don't see me sharing my screen right now, right?
Not yet, no.
Oh, there you are. Okay, wait, no, it's live. And the Braves lineup wasn't out.
Yeah, the Braves lineup still isn't out. These teams, when they go out west, man, you start to see it. Usually, it doesn't bother us. It's so early. Now that finally came out. It's let's see, Kalenic, Albies, Riley, Olsen, Ozuna, Duvall. Oh my God, they have Eddie Rosario back in there. He's not eligible. Then Murphy, then Arcia.
Okay, so this is not gonna have the Atlantas in there. So when I ran it without any restrictions at all. I'm just curious, like what type of stuff I'd get. So first of all, as far as stack exposures, oh, you know what? This was old, so I'm gonna allow all these stacks. This is when I get rid of all these. So let's include all stacks that are possible, and let's see what I would be getting. Yeah, it still would want me to get mostly 5-mans, I think. But I'm so. Oh, I want to do. Hold on, I don't think I upload the projections. Hold on, let's see. No, all right, good. So let's upload the projections, and we'll do it all over again. I know it's a little bit later. It's 6:40 post time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's still plenty of time, though.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Why is it not letting me build my lineups? Oh, I must wait for the previous build to make? Huh? That's fine. No, that's fine. Build 2, we will. Build 1, we'll get rid of, I guess. Build 2 is still here for some reason. Build 3 is not letting me. Interesting. Build 2, I'd just love to just delete this. Well, let's just finish this. Yeah, so I was getting, like you said, originally I was getting Feltner and all these Texas guys. More Texas, Colorado. So yeah, if you're telling me that Texas is going to be Joe, of course.
Let's see.
Yeah, we had all these people that Yeah, I'm going to start over. Hold on a minute. Let me just yeah, with all these people at this party the other day, and half of them weren't feeling good, but not half of them, but they didn't feel like testing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody's could have been a super spreader. We'll see what happens.
Oh man, oh no.
We'll just see.
We'll
see how that goes.
Oh, I lied. I have one Chris Paddock lineup. Just realized.
Oh,
I shouldn't have lied. Yeah, this is pretty brutal. I definitely the more I think about it, the more I'm into this Montero idea.
Well, here we go. Montero, he's on Detroit?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
The 4K guy. It's just a way of getting different, like there's not really a great.
But like you said, where do you spend the money even?
Well, you spend it on Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
You spend it, or Corey Seager,
or you don't spend it. I mean,
or you don't, or you play Ozuna and you play the Spencer Steer and Kettle Marte, that kind of a thing. I think is what you're looking at. At least that's what I got to. And then You can't. But the problem is the expensive guys are all Cleveland, so it's kind of a weird build. Like, because you naturally want to play the Cleveland guys because you can, but you just I don't know. It's weird.
All right. So what is going on with Atlanta? All right. So they have all these Atlanta guys. White Sox. Let's just see what happens. So right now, just a regular build, I'd be getting, some offbeat stacks, but not much, and then mostly Texas and Colorado. So that's a little bit too chalky for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna I'll use the Sims to try to get a little different, and we'll just use the stock settings to see what we're gonna do. But at least it doesn't look like I'm leaving some money on the table, but not that much.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. Feltner, John Gray. I mean, these guys, I don't think, what do we have, 10 eligible pitchers or close? I don't think anybody gets 20. That's my.
You don't think anybody gets 20?
Anybody gets 20.
Yeah, I think that's a really very logical bet. I think that's I don't know if I think the odds would be about even on that one. Oh, maybe no. I think it's more likely than not. I think it's got to be more likely than not.
What do you like Davis Daniel at all?
It's a thing to do, like sort of feel like I do about most of the pitching on the slate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you can't really say anything, I would say bad, but anything like, yeah, sure, why not, right?
But I don't think I could say that. I think you could tell me Chris Flexen was the best play on the slate, and I would probably think, okay, that's a reasonable take. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everything is possible. You just can't get the strikeouts with him. So, look, this is not the slate to do it. If the slate was like 3 games and we had no Abbott, Gray, and Gavin Williams, let's say we just had the other guys, I would be telling you should be playing a relief pitcher.
Really?
Just because there's no reason a relief pitcher couldn't outscore these guys. Although we've got the option. We've got that in Montero, which I still think is a more interesting play than maybe people think.
Getting a bunch of Atlanta. Yes, that makes sense. Is Atlanta going to be really popular?
A little less so. So I think it makes some sense. I got to a lot of them. Again, not really much of stacks for me, but I definitely got to some of them.
So what do we got this week coming up? We have a Genesis, right? As far as golf goes,
we have this the one in Scottish Open, right, or something.
Yeah. But it's not the Open Championship yet. But yeah. We'll take a quick look at that. We got 17 minutes. Let's take the golf one. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, all the freaks are out, huh? Everybody's back.
Yeah,
it's like that now. All of a sudden, Davis Thompson is like 7,900 again. It's pretty cool, right? It's like
yep.
It's just a different class of people, though. I'll tell you, when I just look at this, just blindly, just the guys that kind of just stand out. I see Home is 7,700. Now, he hasn't done much recently, but
yeah,
Hoagie 7,100, maybe. Oh my God, Zalatoris is under 7K now.
Yeah,
interesting. All right, we'll get to that on Wednesday. All right, anybody got anything else?
I'm trying to see here. It doesn't look like I answered a couple things earlier about some stack stuff. I'm trying to decide for myself, am I crazy for playing like Jose Ramirez as a 1 bat off of Montero? I think once because of Montero's price and how bad the pitching is, it's not bad, right?
Yeah.
You had the stolen base upside also. Although this year he hasn't run as much. He still has 16. It's not bad.
Has Abbott gotten anybody out this season?
Who?
Abbott.
Yeah.
He has. Okay.
Yeah, he's he's got a 3.2 ERA. He's been a good pitcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess he has. Yeah,
he had two starts where he didn't get strikeouts in his last 2, but before that, he had a 10 strikeout game against Boston.
Yeah. Okay, it's fair enough.
He's a wild card sometimes, but he's good. He's good. He's really I like him a lot.
And he has the right matchup. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but those are my 2 highest owned deals, or Abbott and I think the Rockies. It's like we'll see.
Right.
We'll just see. and the Braves. Those are my top things. If anybody wants my top things, it's gonna be Braves, Rockies, Abbott, and Feltner. Are gonna be my top ones.
I can't believe I'm doing what I'm doing because look, you never should play a hitter against your pitcher with more than 4 games. But I think when they're 4K, it's okay. I really do.
That's one thing, yeah. And I'll say this: if there's a slate where you're supposed to play hitters against pitchers that's more than 3 games, like this could be one of them. I mean,
for sure.
I guarantee you that's the optimal. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's actually going to play it, but the optimal is going to have something like that. You know,
right.
But again, just it's kind of stupid to say because having the optimal in baseball is not really a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's just not a thing. But one thing I am left with, by the way, for everybody's listening pleasure, is I am going to be having like just a lot of money left on the table. At least to start off with. Okay, remember I got like all these 8:30 games. You know that there's a little bit of a break, right?
Yep.
So I am definitely going to be doing some late swapping. And while at 6:40, I might have, 1,800 left on the table. If things kind of go my way, like if I get lucky and Colorado goes off on Cincinnati in my Colorado stacks, I'm going to be deflating the variance of my later lineups, and taking those, more expensive one-offs. I'll get to Seager if I'm leaving, you know what I mean? If I can get to him, like for example.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna get going. And tomorrow, let me just take a look real quick. Because my schedule this week is unfortunately opened up a little more than I thought it was going to. But tomorrow looks like the regular slate tomorrow. So 11-game slate tomorrow. For those of you that were following my soccer exploits over the weekend, the Euros is down to the semifinals, so they're not doing a 2-game slate. They're doing 2 showdowns because it's on different days. So I don't know if I'm going to play.
I might take a crack at one of those showdowns. That could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're offering a lot. It's like for a showdown slate. I mean, it looks like it's 100. I mean, at least 20,000 for first for like it. Yeah, which is pretty.
That's
pretty
tomorrow,
good.
so I probably have to enter it tonight. Yeah.
Oh no,
I
don't think so.
Yeah, no. That's right.
It's 3 p.m. Eastern.
I know. I'm so used to for some reason just thinking like the games are like starting at my time in the morning. I don't know why.
It's 100K guaranteed, 25,000. Yeah, that's not going to sell out. There's no way.
I don't think
so.
So.
Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Good luck, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one. Good luck, Sheets, and congrats. Guys, I'll be in the Discord if you have any questions or thoughts. Thanks for being here. Please click the like on your way out, and we'll see you hopefully at the top leaderboard with some we'll see some screenshots in Discord hopefully tonight.
Hey,